Hey everyone, it's Damien and Anne here, and we are just checking in. We will be dropping a new episode this month as promised for our summer episodes, but we wanted to just touch base because, of course, earlier this month there was the extremely unfortunate loss of Anne Heche, who we were lucky enough to have on this show back in 2021. Um, and I just felt like it needed to be addressed. We have sort of been reeling from it and wanted to take a beat before we came back here to talk to you about it. So that's all. We just wanted to take a moment to address like her life, her career, and hopefully you guys have experienced the episode. But if not, I feel like it's a good opportunity to go back and check it out.
Yeah, we were so grateful to chat with her and get to dive into her career. And I think that, the beauty of this project is getting to discover new work of a person that you love some of their work or just like kind of realizing how incredible an actor is. And I think that was our experience with Anne Heche was one, she was a fucking phenomenal actor, and two, she was in so many things. And we were just talking about this prior to recording, which is like we didn't even talk about so many things that she was in because like she and her friend Heather were coming on our show to promote their podcast, which was part of the interview. And then it was just like wasn't enough time, so it was like
Yeah.
suddenly we were like leaving like questions on the like we weren't able to fit them all in, and we were like, wow, we didn't even talk about like I don't know, Walking and Talking, I think it's Nicole Holofcener's first feature film, and it's like so. It's her and Catherine Keener, like both like young, bright-eyed, and bushy-tailed, and it's also like sets that standard for what is a Nicole Holofcener film. And like I wish that we were
Mm.
able to talk to her about it because it really is about like you know. I don't know that it feels revolutionary to have like a film be about like women's relationships that are like not centered around men, but also just sort of like this easy, like conversational, like lived in character piece. And I really wish we were able to chat with her about it. And I suggest you go check out Walking and Talking.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also was really sad to not get to talk to her about I Know What You Did Last Summer, where I think she has like one of the greatest scare reveals in that franchise. And also, we love any chance to get to talk about people working with Jennifer Love Hewitt. But there was just like so much untapped goodness in her work. And I feel like, if I'm being honest, I feel like I always thought she was good, but she was one of the guests that we've had on our show over the course of 4 seasons, where when I revisited this person's work, I was absolutely flabbergasted by their talent. I mean, I think I just had underestimated how good Anne Heche was of an actor until I went back and revisited like Birth, which is one of the movies that we both shared a love of. And when Damien and I became friends, we both were like, "Do you love Birth?" "Oh, I love Birth." This is a movie that I think has a very specific audience and is so good. I got to like see for the first time when I watched this, when we had this interview, Wag the Dog and Six
Mm.
Seven Nights, like some of her biggest hits I had actually not seen. And she's so good. Psycho, the remake, which I had avoided for, I don't know, I guess I had heard that it wasn't good when it came out. I actually was so impressed by her Marion Crane. Also, we got to talk to Anne about how she had pushed to have her character like be a lesbian in it and have this whole like other romance that didn't end up happening. But we get into a little bit about how she was a trailblazer and about how it would have been nice if the media had been able to sort of reckon with the way that Anne's life was framed in the public eye. I think she was just an enormous talent, and it's proven by, I think it was like Alec Baldwin said he wouldn't do the 20th century without her because her talent was so immense and that she deserved to be on stage. And this story about Proof, Damien, that you love about her.
Oh, that okay. So I think it was Ben Brantley, but I might be misremembering. But in the so Anne Heche replaced. I think she replaced. Did she replace Jennifer Jason Leigh or Mary Louise
Yeah,
Parker? So like there
Jennifer
was like
Jason
it was
Leigh.
like Mary Louise Parker won the Tony for it, left the show. Jennifer Jason Leigh replaced her, and then Anne Heche replaced Jennifer Jason Leigh, and I believe closed out the run, and it was like a very successful Broadway run. But in the review, like it was re-reviewed with Anne, and they said that she shaved time off the actual running time of the show because she was like the way she was speaking in character, like in sort of these like manic episodes that are within the text of the piece, like it shaved time off. And I was like obsessed with that and feel like her energy would have been actually kind of like incredible to have seen in proof. And I don't even know if I like that play that much. I mean, at the time it was like hot, but now I'm like, I don't know if I like it. But I would love to see it with Anne Heche.
Same, same. I just have a great fondness for like many of the movies that she starred in. I wish I could have seen her on stage.
And also she's like in, and also then directed in the second, If These Walls Could Talk, which like is sort of like a running gag between you and I, because we're both like, well, but also like we love it. Like we both
Yeah.
grew up, like I like rented those by myself at like Hollywood
Yes.
Video or whatever it was. And yeah, the fact that she's in that first one, and she's right, she's in the first one
Yeah. And then she's
as,
directing. Oh, I can't remember who she is in the first one.
in the second one she directs the, it's like the lesbian storyline, and
They're
she's
all lesbian in the second one. She directs the Ellen and Sharon
right, thank you.
Stone
That's right. The
modern
first one
day.
is about
Yes.
abortion, and in
Yes.
that one, this is gonna bug me. Is she in the context of like she's with like Nia Long and Michelle Williams? She's like part of a house of like
That's
they,
If These Walls Could Talk to, the lesbian
oh,
house
they're
is the
lesbians.
second
Wait,
vignette. Here's the thing, you
abortion.
and I need to revisit If These Walls Could Talk 1 because we're so familiar with If These Walls Could Talk 2. I
Demi
think it's
Moore gets
time.
an abortion
Yeah, shares an
on a
abortion
kitchen
doctor
table.
in modern day.
So she's getting the abortion and shares her doctor. I believe
Maybe
that's
that's
right.
right. Maybe that's right.
So
It's time for me to revisit that this evening.
yes, there's a lot. So here we are acknowledging, like holding space for all of Anne's incredible talent and all of the incredible work we were able to revisit. But there's still stuff like left that I'm like, I need to go. I was like, oh, I remember how much you loved Catfight, and you
Oh
talked
my
about it
god,
a
it's
lot
so
in
good.
the interview about her and Sandra Oh being in this like very like teeny tiny like indie character indie film. Lacey Silverstone and I think Anne
Yeah,
are playing like lovers or wives.
yeah.
Um, and I haven't yet watched it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. We did the interview, and I was like, fuck, I gotta watch that sometime. And it's like been in my. I have a, like a list on my phone. It's like been on it. It's like I have
Yeah.
to watch Catfight and do Goodbye. And
Right. And same with my friend Dahmer, which you had handled for our interview. And we're so impressed with her character work that she was doing in this piece where she plays Jeffrey Dahmer's mother. I really feel like I wish that had been able to re-release her book on the 20th anniversary, which would have been last year. I know there was some talk of that. So I just feel like there's probably much to be said about sort of her legacy and her life and what a trailblazer she was. But I do think like what we do here on the show is honor someone's body of work in addition to who they are in the world. And I just really implore you, if you haven't gone back and watched some Anne Heche movies, TV shows, like take the time to do that. She really is an incredible actor. And it was like our great privilege to have her on the show. And honestly, I didn't think that this would be the podcast guest that we would. She is like our first podcast guest to have passed, and that feels really surprising considering we've interviewed people in their mid 90s. Um, so I think that I hope that her legacy is that she was this incredible artist that sort of should have been treated better by the media. I mean, all of us should have done better.
so rest in peace to Anne Heche. All the love to her family and friends, and all of the people that were her fans and like love her work. And we hope that includes y'all. So go watch something for Anne. Hold your loved ones a little tighter. We love you, and we will see you so very soon. Be safe, guys. We love you guys.
Love you.